fucking chairs match or ladder match, whatever. And the next thing you know, it's like they're just bringing out all these other stuff. Once again, not to be too technical, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah,
if anything.
Yeah. Okay, and then if I can get the finally, then the Revival comes out and assaults Roman Reigns, and then next you know it's 4-1.
Yeah. So I guess now they must be really selling the idea that I guess he really had no other allies, no other friends outside of the Shield.
Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, they're not going to point that out because I don't think they're really going to mention the Shield probably at this point, but for different reasons. But
I don't know. They've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah, but I mean, they probably see no reason to for the most part.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, basically it's like this guy. Yeah, because no one comes out to help him at all.
Yeah.
This guy just gets
shit
by 4
kicked out of him.
And then and then
unfortunately Corbin would pick up the victory.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't really think he was meant to win this one this time.
No,
because he already beat him once.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
Yeah,
which was shocking.
Yeah, that was surprising. But it's kind of like that one was kind of like whatever. But now it's like he's gonna beat him twice. So you know what that means? It's probably gonna continue.
It's gonna continue.
Yeah, and I really don't.
They really don't need to.
No, they would have just ended it after this. It's like whatever, just move on and
just have like one more match on SmackDown.
I don't even know about that. But
No,
it's like I don't know. Some things are just like if they may not be the best, but like if you just leave them alone and just keep rolling, then like we can move on and like forget or whatever.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, our ratings, I still gave it a 2.
I wasn't as favorable. I was never really that into it, to be completely honest with you. I mean, yeah, other things kind of made it even more ridiculous. Like when everyone ran out at the end, that just made it
stupid.
That just made it silly. But it's like I went ahead and gave it like 1.5, maybe 1 3/4. But I'm not giving this a favorable rating.
No. All right.
Next,
probably the best part of the entire show.
Yes. We had Bray Wyatt and Miz. So
not the Fiend, just Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, just like the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, which is what we alluded to.
Yeah.
On the previous week's show.
Yep. And we were right.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting then, and I guess as it turned out, this may have been something that actually was done right. And
Bray Wyatt is a character.
No, I mean this guy is a great actor.
Yeah, he's awesome all around.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good way to just take a break from the Fiend for a bit, and like I didn't think this was. Although I was confused, I will say one thing: I was a little confused in this, where I got. Well, at first I'm like, okay, Bray and Miz for the Universal title, whatever. I don't really know what he did for. I mean, they got a feud going, but it's like he didn't really get a title shot. But then it's like, oh, well, it's not going to be the Fiend. So I'm like, oh, so I guess it could play it off as just, like the match and like, no title. But then he hand off the belt to the ref, which I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean
it's a title match.
Title's got to take champion's got to take the belts off or whatever, and then hand it over to the ref. But then he held it like up to the Miz, like it's like, well,
I know, and the announcer did announce that it was a Universal title match.
Oh, he even did that. So
But no championship graphic, no.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing.
Like he showed Miz the belt, but we didn't actually see him hold the belt up, like it was up for grabs.
Yeah. So exactly. So that's the only confusing part of this. Either way, if it's for the title, it's like whatever. If it's not, it's like it didn't need to be. But yeah, but I will say I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. It was weird. It was different, but yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, because he didn't have much offense really, and he didn't really show much of a moveset. But it was by design.
Yeah, it was by design. He's showing that he likes pain,
I guess. But
wasted a little soul he is.
Yeah, but I in some ways I actually enjoyed this more than I enjoyed the Fiend matches. The Bray Wyatt one at Survivor Series, I got into that one. I liked it, but I liked this better than any of the Rollins matches. And it was just interesting to just see a different side of him, basically. Mm-hmm. So I always wondered from the beginning. I'm like, yes, he's showing the Fiend and stuff. Are they ever going to do anything with just like the regular him, basically? And they did.
Yeah, they did, and well done. I'll say.
I'm going to go as far as to just call it a success.
Yeah, it was.
But Bray Wyatt would eventually pick up the win.
And then,
not eventually, because this is actually a short match, but
yeah.
Yeah, Miz would just hit him basically over and over again, and he really didn't have any offense. And although the first thing he did himself was, well, there was a couple times I think he tried to counter, but it just didn't work.
He hit a wicked Sister Abigail though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, off the barricade and something like that.
Yeah, and then he also there's one spot where he just ran himself into the barrier.
Yeah, because of Miz's arm move that he did. So he's playing off like he dislocated his shoulder, just trying to put it back into place.
Yeah. So this is so eventually Bray Wyatt would get the Sister Abigail and then win.
And then
the Fiend would pop up on the Tron.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you want me to do it? You want me to do it?" So then he goes underneath the ring, and he pulls out the mallet, which has been shown on the Firefly Funhouse, and the Fiend had his mallet.
Yep.
So so then he pulled that out, and then the lights were going out, that's usually when the Fiend comes.
Yep.
And then he says he's coming, but then
no, he's not.
Yeah. You hear the crowd cheer a little bit because you'd see a guy in a hoodie enter the ring, and then he'd deliver the running knee to Bray, which is famous known as Daniel Bryan's move, which we all knew was Daniel Bryan at that point.
Yeah.
But you'd see a little quick bit of his face, and you could see that he had a trimmed beard, but then he would pull off the hood and he would reveal the old classic American Dragon Bryan Danielson, basically his original look. And I'm not gonna lie, I dig it.
It is a huge
transformation.
A huge transformation to what he was literally like 3 weeks ago.
I know, exactly. So, yeah, I like the old look. I mean, I basically like anything that Daniel Bryan's associated with. And he's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers.
And I like that Daniel Bryan is back to.
He's basically back to his old ways. He's back to doing the.
Yes, he's back to being
basically the babyface Bryan's back.
Yeah,
but this goes along with like how interesting the Bray Wyatt character has been, because like just you see the aftermath of how everyone is after they deal with him. So like he's just constantly changing people. I mean, Finn Balor, he's back in NXT, he's back in his old roots.
Seth Rollins is a dick.
He's back to his heel ways. Even Daniel Bryan, now he's back to like his original self, basically. So
yeah. There was something else too. Oh, Sheamus looks back to where he was.
Oh yeah, that's just that's not related really to this particular thing.
It was off a meme.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, a lot of 09, 010's coming back.
Yeah,
nonetheless. But yeah, I actually really like this, and I gave it a 4.
Me too.
I loved it. I mean, it was so weird. It was strange, but it just worked.
I gave it a 4 as a whole. Like,
yeah,
for a match, segment, even the promo package was actually really good.
Oh yeah, the promo package. That's another thing I should have marked down in the notes here. But
even that was good.
Yeah, Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy to me was like the match of the night for sure. But I mean, like
for all around.
Yeah, all around. This was good. And as I said, it was kind of short in a way, but it's like it didn't need to be lengthy. And I don't think any of the Bray Wyatt matches need to be that long.
No,
that's even what I liked about the Daniel Bryan match. So. It's like 10 minutes, but it's like it just...
They did what they had to do, and...
Yeah, just got through it and just did what they had to do.
Yeah, so after that, we go to then after the greatest thing ever, we go to the lowest.
Well, no, I don't think it was quite as bad as the TLC match.
Oh, no, but
the first one.
But like, you know what I'm trying to say here.
Because we go from like a high point to like... Yeah, you're right.
Because no one cares about this feud at all.
Yeah, they want you to. But
the story is just very disturbing at times, and
yeah, it's very
uncomfortable. But we have the tables match between Bobby Lashley and Rusev.
And see, I'm not gonna say much about this.
Yeah, I really don't want to either.
But here's my thing. It's like they do all this stuff for like Lashley and like Lana, and like they're making out like on top of the ramp, and like they're doing all this stuff, and like they're just like
tormenting the crap out of him.
I know, they're basically ruining this guy's life. And then you have this match, and
he still doesn't win.
Exactly. I mean, that gives you once again the indication, maybe like the Corbin and Reigns thing. Well, definitely the Corbin and Reigns thing is going to continue, but that gives me the impression that this is going to continue. It's like, what more do they need to do with this?
Yeah,
there's really nothing else, in my opinion, to do.
There really isn't. The only thing I can see is that since Lashley did state that once this divorce thing's over, I'm gonna marry this chick. And
they're gonna do a wedding next,
and probably for the first time in probably like 10 years, we're gonna have a wedding in the ring.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same old gimmick.
And then of course Rusev's gonna ruin it, and then
then they're gonna just do something else. It's like
it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, there's nothing else they need to do with this. And then as the match, I mean they did a couple things, but nothing too notable. I gave
besides Rusev getting put through a barricade. I mean,
that is one thing. Maybe that's one thing to point out.
Yeah,
glad you mentioned that. But outside of that, this didn't really do anything for me. I gave it a 2.
Yeah, the same. And then after we're just gonna like rush through because like there's nothing really else to say between Bobby Lashley and Rusev and Lana other than Lana is annoying.
Yeah. And the other thing I don't get they do with her is like 1 week she speaks in her accent and the next week she's like not speaking her accent.
Yeah, like
make up your mind, people.
Yeah, and then after that we have a quick Street Profits segment because it wouldn't last long because a huge brawl with basically the entire roster.
Yeah, Corbin, Reigns. Somehow Reigns is still going after he got beat down by 4 guys.
It looked like New Day, Ziggler. Actually, it looked like
the Viking Raiders were in there.
The Viking Raiders were in there. It looked like Roberto Carrillo was in there, and some dude with purple tights. That dude did not look any familiar to me.
Yeah, well, it was. Yeah, because they're in the backstage, and the lighting wasn't too great. So
yeah, I could see why Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin are battling.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, how are they still going? Like after they just laid them out.
Yeah, and then. The New Day was in there because they've had their issue from last Friday night.
The New Day were in there. Yeah,
because WWE needs to like think before they do something.
Yeah, I get it's pay-per-view, so they're cross-branded or whatever. But I don't know. But it's So then this would go on, and then finally we'd have the main event of the evening. We had the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. We saw the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka go against the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
This match again was good, but there's times where they just didn't know what they were doing.
Well, there's a couple times it seemed kind of lost in there,
and the match was kind of long.
Yeah, it was too lengthy. I wouldn't have given the Corbin and Reigns match. I would have given that a higher rating, but it's just they just dragged it out too long and. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if that would have been like 5 minutes shorter, or maybe I would have given it a more favorable rating. But in this case, this match, I mean, they did some good stuff in there. I mean, they try to be innovative a bit, but it just, I don't know. This reminds me much in a way of like last month's main event at Survivor Series, where I felt like they just seemed like they were lost, and it's like, okay, we got everyone in here, but
like what do we do?
With this? Yeah, what do we do?
And we're basically watching the same main event from last year's TLC, except
there's one more person in it,
and just a different type of match. Well, same type of match, but like different
scenario.
Yeah, different scenario.
Triple threat the first time. This time we have a tag team match and different title, I guess. But it is kind of ironic when you.
Speaking of that one extra person, it was I read reports this morning that Kairi Sane apparently possibly suffered an injury. TLC. I honestly don't know exactly when the injury occurred.
Yeah, because I didn't. It wasn't so apparent like watching the match like when exactly. Although I did get an idea maybe when she tried up putting Charlotte through that one table, that may have been when it happened because it seemed like after that she had
just
difficulty like getting back up and like moving too well.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could come up with before that would have happened.
Yeah. And then. They would, and then eventually. I mean, this happened before when announced the end, but like they tied up Becky Lynch to a ladder, which is actually smart.
In a way, that's actually kind of smart.
It's smart in a way.
Yeah. I did find it funny when Kairi Sane came from back underneath the ring with the fire extinguisher because you called that.
Yeah, I did call it. I didn't mean to call it, but I just did. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, it was in that, and then they had a rope.
Yep. Which that rope will come into play later.
Oh yeah.
Always does.
Yeah, so there's some I thought the one spot where Becky dropped the when she did, I guess you could say it was like a leg drop. It was like to the sternum,
Mm-hmm.
and she did that off the